In the news this week, the Christian Institute calls on Ocado to drop a blasphemous product. Men are being invited to smear tests on the NHS if they register as women. And the Queen joins songs of praise to mark 150 years of Scripture Union. The Christian Institute has called for online supermarket Accardo to drop a product which uses gratuitously offensive language about Jesus Christ. The packet of spicy meat strips is one of 3 items Accardo sells from the Billy Franks company, but no other major supermarket stocks the product. The Christian Institute contacted Accardo's press office for a comment, but it has so far not responded. However, the company did tell an Institute supporter, "As an online retailer, we stock products from a variety of brands, and we will continue to sell these products for those who wish to purchase them." Kieran Kelly, Deputy Director at the Institute, said Accardo's actions were disappointing. Jesus Christ is the very heart of the Christian faith. He is the Son of God and the only perfect human being to have ever lived. Using his name in such a blasphemous throwaway fashion is hurtful and saddening. We invite Accardo to think again. Men who say they are women are being routinely invited to breast cancer screenings and smear tests by the NHS. Guidance from Public Health England also says that women are not being offered the tests if they are registered as men. But transsexuals who were born male and are now registered as female with their GP will be offered cervical cancer screenings routinely, despite not having a cervix. The Christian Institute's Simon Calvert criticised the NHS's position.
Look, anyone who's ever had a friend or a family member who's transgender knows that the emotional issues they face are very real to them. But what's not real is the idea that you can change from male to female or vice versa. But in the current political climate, people are being forced to pretend. And that's going so far now that in the health service, women's health is being put at risk. And it's being put at risk in 2 ways. Women who are really women are not being invited to smear tests which could save their lives because the records have been changed to show that they're men. And men are being sent invitations to smear tests, which means that the system designed to save women's lives is wasting time and effort and resources. And that is frankly immoral.
Chinese police have blown up a church building after its leaders refused to bow to state demands. According to China Aid, military police detonated explosives in underground halls before demolishing the above-ground building. The Golden Lampstand Church was an unregistered congregation in the north of China and home to 50,000 worshippers. China Aid president and founder Bob Fu spoke to the BBC about the worsening situation for Christians in the country.
This church, the latest forced demolition, is another example showing this barbaric action toward these peaceful, innocent believers and the churches. It shows really the increasingly deteriorating situation of religious freedom and rule of law in China under the President Xi's ruling.
And finally, the Queen was the special guest for an episode of the BBC's Songs of Praise to mark the 150th anniversary of Scripture Union. Her Majesty joined with supporters and friends of the Christian charity for the service at St Mary's Church in Islington, North London. Included in the prayers during the service was a call for people to be salt and light in our communities and families. National Director of Scripture Union, the Reverend Tim Hastie-Smith, said it was an incredible thrill to have the Queen there with children and people celebrating God's love. Highlighting Her Majesty's Christian faith, Reverend Hastie-Smith also referenced the recent book, The Servant Queen and the King She Serves, written to coincide with her 90th birthday. After the programme aired, Scripture Union urged people to pray that many more may be inspired to join us in sharing the good news of Jesus with the next generation. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.